I'll try to just keep it.
Fine, good.
Okay.
All right, we are back with Shlomo Freund. Did I say your name right this time?
Freund.
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 Let's not have a whole episode where I can't
Leave that in the recording.
I'm gonna have to put it in later. So this is really what I wanted to touch on today is like how real we are, right? We are so real. We're here. Someone's in a coffee shop. I just came in from like shoveling 4 yards of dirt in the yard. I mean, like I'm just all. I did wash my hands and face, but that's about it, And I love that about us. I love that we're so spontaneous and we're cool. And somebody's gonna Shlomo coffee while we're talking, and it's just all really good. So, and he has to wear his mask because why?
Why? Because at the coffee shop now it's compulsory to have to wear that. A month ago, my wife got a fine at this very coffee shop. She works here almost every day. So we're not messing with this. If somebody wants to see my face, 3, 2, 1, I.
And that's it. Quick. Take a picture of that
one. We can do a few more, but.
But that's awesome. But the reason we asked someone to come back is because we touched on this idea of something, when you think about making your money make money and putting your money to work, a lot of people think about, okay, I'm going to invest in real estate. I'm going to flip houses. I'm going to have to do, be really smart in the stock market. I'm going to have bought Google, 12 years ago. But there are other ideas. And people are making money other ways. And Shlomo is one of those people. And I want you to just start wherever you want to start and just tell us about this other idea, this other way of making money, making your money make money without actually, quote unquote, working, without shoveling 4 yards of dirt in your yard, which I didn't even make money for.
Still working on it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying what I'm going to talk about. Yeah. Okay. So Chris asked me to talk about website flipping, which means buying websites that already make money, and you can basically operate them and then either hold them or flip them and sell them. However, it's important for me to say there are tons of other ways to make money apart from flipping websites, which we're going to talk about today. But you can do peer-to-peer lending, you can do crowd investing. There are ways to make your crypto money pay dividends for you. There are companies who do that these days. So forget about real estate, forget about the stock market. We're not talking about those classics. We're talking about other things. I mentioned a few, but today we're going to speak about website flipping. Was that great?
We're going to have a series then. We're going to have a series of you talking about novel ways to make money.
Let's start with the website. Something really is happening at your site. It's okay?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I just put myself on mute, but there was a mosquito buzzing around, but I'm sure that's not what it was.
Okay, sure. I didn't hear it. The main principle with flipping websites is think about it as buying an apartment, okay, or buying a house that you want to flip. It's the same idea where you are buying an assets. Your house can, or that house can make $1,000 a month with rent, or you can take that money, improve the house, add a room, renovate it, and then instead of $100,000, it would be worth $130,000. Okay, you can do the same thing for a website, and you can do that with many different ways, because there are many ways to make money with websites. It can be either by adding more revenue channels. So the most common revenue channels are either ads or affiliate. And now we're talking about content websites, although there are other types of websites and businesses like SaaS.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Let's start how do you first find the websites?
Sure. So there are a few ways to do that. These days, there are a few marketplaces I guess, around, not a few, let's say between 10 and 15 marketplaces, roughly saying, where you can find websites, or, which I'm going to mention in a minute, or buying them privately, usually on Facebook groups that people are looking for these kind of things, or just privately, just because you find somebody, or whatever happens. Or you can build one. That's okay too, but that takes time, which we want to save. So I bought a website in a marketplace, my first website. I'm holding two websites for now. In a marketplace called Empire Flippers. And Empire Flippers is one. Empire Flippers. Yes.
Empire Flippers. Okay.
Empire
We'll put links to all that stuff
Flippers.com.
in the show notes.
And this one is a very reliable one. They vet the websites. They make sure that the website owner is indeed the website owner, the earnings, all that. You're getting all the stats. However, it's vetting. The work of doing the due diligence and actually finding if there is nothing bad in there is still up to the person. They have other services for checking and stuff like that. But still, it's your work. But when you're buying from a broker, just like Empire Flippers, it's more of an easier buy. However, you do pay a premium in this. Usually they cost more. There are other marketplaces where nobody checks almost anything. Let's say this, like Flippa. And they used to be, kind of the trashy kind of where just list anything and maybe somebody will buy it, and there are a lot of scams there. They're getting better and better at this, and there are reliable websites there, and there's actually a lot of advantages buying in there because the websites are cheaper and you can find like good finds there. But it's harder. So these are two examples of marketplaces at either side of the spectrum of vetted. I don't want to say safe, but semi-safe, like Empire Flippers. Less safe, but maybe more opportunities, Flippa, and buying from somebody on a Facebook group is like the other extreme of the spectrum.
End of the spectrum. But then you find one you like. Now, once you find one that looks intriguing, so what do you see when you go like to Empire Builders? What kind of information do they give you?
So on Empire Flippers, you see the previous earnings of the websites. You see at the last. So usually how much a website is worth is by a multiplier, and usually it's a monthly multiplier. So you see the multiplier, how much it makes net times the multiplier. Multipliers these days are sold between 30 to 40 times of the net income of a website. So you'll see that, you'll see how it makes net, you'll see the traffic, you'll see how long the website exists. Of course, the longer the better. You'll get the details of how long that person you're buying from is working on the website. This can range from 1 hour a week to 30. Usually it's more of the shorter side, so 1 to 10 hours a week. Because nobody goes there to buy a day job, so they're working 30 hours a week on the website. It doesn't happen, and if so, then the website would be listed at a lower price or a lower multiple because of that. So, excuse me. So this is the kind of information you're going to see. I can pull it out while we speak. I have a whole I have a whole workshop on this of kind of explaining these things. So I'm kind of going over the basics. So I don't want to miss anything. And of course, you can see the price, and you can see how long the website is on the market. Of course, if it's longer time on the market, it means that maybe you can negotiate. That's basically it. And once you're going into, so one thing that is good with Empire Flippers is that you're getting, once you're unlocking a listing, which you first have to prove that you have the money to buy it, then you are able to see, first of all, the full details of the website, and you are also able to, they're connecting you to the Google Analytics of that website, so you can check it more thoroughly. And there are other tools for checking websites. So except of seeing the Google Analytics, you also want to put it on tools like Ahrefs, which is for checking the SEO, the search engine optimization, the ranking of the websites, if it really matches what you're looking for, how the keywords are trending, for what keyword it's trending. You want to see the spread of the traffic to different pages. So you don't want to have too much traffic to a single page. That's too risky. Want to know from which countries it's coming, probably from developed countries, US, Canada, UK, places like that, Australia. All these things eventually gives you the idea if I should move forward with this, or it's like it's not for me. And you should also have an idea of what are you going to do with the website? How are you going to flip it? What are you going to do? How am I going to improve this house? Is this renovation? Is this adding a room? Is it what? Making 2 units, whatever. So you have to know what you're going to do next. And then it really depends on you if you are buying for holding and you still need to maintain, or you are maybe doing some easy wins and maybe selling in a few months. It really depends. Of course, the more data you have for showing that the website is making money consistently over a few months, the more reliable it is, and therefore the multiplier will be higher, and you're more likely to sell it at the price that you want.
So when you look at like, let's say that you found a website that you thought looked interesting, do you then visit the website and see if you can already think of things that you could possibly do? Like what sorts of things realistically, what's the equivalent of adding a room when you're talking about a website?
I'll give an example. So let's say that you see a website that already has, so the most famous affiliate program is the Amazon Associates Affiliate Program. So just a word in this, you get a few percentages of a sale if it comes from your website. That's how it works. Now, Amazon has stores. I think they have 12 stores or 13 stores around the world, online stores. Usually what happens is that the traffic comes from the US. What happens when it's not from the US? Okay, it means that you're losing the sale. So if that person didn't set up the store for UK, then you can set it up and eventually you'll enjoy that UK income from that, because traffic coming in, but it's not monetized. So this is an example of how to do that. Another way would be adding a mailing list and understanding what you can sell to that list. That's another way. Another way would be if it doesn't have display ads and it's worth adding, then you just add the display ads. That's another way. Lead generation, there are really all these things that you can do. It depends on the niche of what exactly you can do. Sometimes it's taking the 10 most with the most traffic posts and improve them so they'll make more money. So maybe you can analyze the Amazon sales through those pages and then understand, oh, okay, but I can make this change in the website on the page and improve that. Another way is moving to a different affiliate program. So Amazon usually pays around 4%, depends on the niche, depends on the category, sorry. But there are other similar affiliate programs for the same products that will pay 10%. So then you can put in a different affiliate program. Then you need, of course, to measure how good it converts, because usually when people buy on Amazon, and you're not only getting the money for the product that you got to that page, you also get the money for whatever they bought in the next 24 hours. So you get extras. So you really need to measure all these things and understand what works really better. But these are a few examples of things that you can do to improve a website. And this was really fast. I mean, there are really tons of ways of how to look at those. But I hope you get the gist of it.
So these are, well, yeah, I mean, these are also ways that a person who has their own website could make their own website more profitable, right?
Of course, it just when you're buying a website, you're probably saving around 2 years of work with these things, and also you already have the cash flow to reinvest in the business. So it's less I was about to say it's less risky. On the other hand, when you're buying a website, it is risky. I mean, Google can change the algorithm. A year and a half ago, Amazon cut their affiliate uh, commissions in half. This can happen overnight. So these are things that you need to take into account. There is a one website that was bought for $10 million. I don't know how long ago. They lost 90% of the traffic in a very short time, gone. So things can, this is a one thing that you need to understand, that this is more risky, I guess, especially if you don't know yet what you're doing, and that it's not completely passive. However, you can make it with maybe a small team, or over time making it passive enough so you'll be worth it. I'm not working full time on my websites, not at all. However, I do have a virtual assistant that does some of the work, and I monitor them every day, and I'm keep progressing and building them up. And indeed, since December when I bought my website, it's probably now worth 40% more. So, except of the about, I think 8% that I made on the website as an income, and I'm saying this, that's the net. That's after I already spent the money in there for the other things. So it's that 8%, and that's 30 or 40% that now my website is worth more. If you're not going to do anything with your website, it would probably start to decline over time. However, the cash flow or the calculations, or I spoke about multipliers, is around 30 to 40 monthly. So it's around 30% a year if you're just counting the cash flow on that. So it's a good investment per se as an investment, but it's not passive. But you have tenants to deal with when you're building a house, and you don't get usually 30%. So it's a matter of adjusting to a different business.
Interesting. So now I'm just thinking about, you talked about $10 million website. What, say someone's starting out, what realistically could you get? Like, what are the price ranges of these websites, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
0 to 10, 20, whatever $1 million. So it also depends on the marketplace. So you'll find different deals. On the smaller marketplace, you can find from a few hundreds, 1,000. On the groups, you can find a few thousands. On Empire Flippers, it usually starts at 20, 30, 40, and that's the really lower ones. It depends on the marketplace. Now looking quickly at Empire Flippers. So let me look. The adjusting one for 2 million.
If you want to share your screen so that folks who are watching it on YouTube can see.
Oh yeah, of course.
That'd be cool.
Hold on. Yeah. Let me share the screen. I think you need to make me a host if you haven't. So I share my screen. So this is Empire Flippers. I'm already at the marketplace tab. You can see here, it starts with 41,000. That's the lowest they have. Oh no, sorry, it's not. Oh, I don't want to log in now, but you see that they have the new deals, which are yellow, and the old ones are this. So we have one for 24,000. See, but you can see the range, right?
So they're all categorized by the market, where the niche that they're in, the market that they serve,
Yes,
right?
and how they're monetized. Let me go into one of them. So example, this finance, just random choice. See, there's one here with 20x, there's one with 49. So it's probably something that went wrong with that website. It doesn't mean that it's a bad one. It just means that you need to deal with something that happened to that website. And if you know, that's a good opportunity for you. This is 49x. It's a pretty high multiple here. It's probably a very good and solid website. So there's this listing summary and what the story of that website, how it's monetized, where the traffic is coming from. So you can see it's US is 74%, Canada 4%, and UK 3.5%. The earnings, site traffic, very, very brief overview. You see here the analytical data after you unlock a listing. And this is not always, there's kind of similar data on different platforms, just the way that they show them, and you need to get used to that. Some of them it's open, some of them you need to unlock. It really depends. Some of them you really sometimes can't see the URL. The opportunities, how you can grow the website. So you see this here, adding more content, growing an email list. These are the risks. These are actually the risks that almost always are there. So that's Google algorithm changes. Advertiser change can affect their earning per click. So that's the Amazon one. And see, seller currently spends around 7 hours per week on the website. Reason for sale and the support that you'll get. And this is the information. 7 hours a week, you get a .com. It's a WordPress, so you probably most of the websites that you see are WordPress, so it's easier to deal with. There are FAQs here at the bottom. PBN is something that some used to work for SEO purposes before, and also works now. It's a kind of a chase of a cat and a mouse with Google. Some people who know how to deal with that and take the risk. It's a more risky when you have a PBN, a private blog network, linking to your website. This is, by the way, how you measure a website. It's about how many clicks you have to the website and to the page, and there's a whole industry of or ways to link building naturally or unnaturally to the website. It's something that you need to keep up, not only with the content, but also with the links. These are already recommended businesses with just other websites. Yeah, that's about it. I can't unlock the listing, but this is basically what you see me doing.
That's great. That's great. It's really interesting.
Oh, and you can also see how long that is. So usually websites, usually websites that are that survive more than 3 years are worth more. I bought a website which was already 6 years. Now it's going 7, or maybe it was 7. I'm going 8. I don't remember. And you see, of course, what the assets that you get. So this one is 2 domains. And 1 additional domain. Okay, not monetized, an email list, social media account, and 3 ebooks. Okay, fine. So if you have $156,000, assuming that you want to pay that price and not negotiate, this is it. Specifically, Empire Flippers require that if you want to lock that buying for you, you need to transfer to them $9,900. That's not to Empire Flippers, it's just a down payment. And then you need to transfer the rest. But in order to take it out of the marketplace, this is the minimum. But there are other rules for other websites, for other marketplaces.
So on this particular one, the website makes about $3,200 a month net, and they're asking $156,000 for it. So
that's 49. That's 49.
49 times what the monthly profit is. Exactly. So that seems high. Seems like
it's a rather high multiple. However, of course, I didn't analyze the other, the analytics and Ahrefs and SEO, but it's probably a pretty solid website that would not, no guarantees, but has maybe a lot of traffic channels and income channels. Maybe you can see that here somewhere. No, I can't see that without unlocking. Sorry. So it probably monetized in a few different ways. So it's maybe there is some monetization. See, it has display advertising, affiliate, and Amazon Associates. So these are 3 different income channels. So one goes down, one is kind of more defensive. So yeah, it's more expensive. By the way, there is another whole branch of these kind of this kind of investing, which I haven't done but might do one day, is with SaaS, software as a service websites, where everything is recurring revenue. And since it's recurring revenue and subscriptions, it's more stable than others. Usually, I don't know about exactly what the multipliers are, but they are higher than content websites, which are more volatile. So it's a different, it's a different thing. While we're here, maybe let's look at Flippa. So Flippa is a different thing. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for browse, see websites, content. And they raised $11 million.
FLIPPA.com, Flippa.
Yes. So you got tons of websites here too, much more diversified. However, it's not as safe as Empire Flippers. And I must say there are others. I mean, there is a Motion Invest, and Investors Club, and there are really more others that just I don't remember right now, but there are others. But these are a few of the main ones. So here's a website about rabbits. They want $20,000 on it. But this is even a sponsor. It has 49,000 page views a month. The multiples here are by years, not by months. It makes $699 a month. However, here you need to verify all information. Okay, it's not the same as Empire Flippers. Some are more genuine. I think this one looks more better than the others. However, at your own risk with Flippa, you can see the page views of which countries it's coming from. You see that a lot of it is United States, which is good. This is the SEO information. Here it's a SEMrush. I use Ahrefs, which is a different provider, to see this information, what the sale includes, platform WordPress again. There you see revenue proof. Let's look at that. You keep it, by the way, there is a way to even play to really fake the revenue proofs even. You need to check those things, okay? But this is an example, okay? March bid shield distribution. Okay, they made a few bucks. And they made from, I have no idea what period that is, but it's 7,000. Yeah, you need to check those, okay? But this is an example of a website, and this is about rabbits. There's a whole niche for pets. See, evergreen niche, pet, great domain name, rabbits.life. It is a good domain name. Mostly US, which counts as the best traffic. Opportunity to grow the affiliate, that didn't work on it too much, so this is probably a good thing to have. Again, we need to analyze the website. Rabbits. And you can go and look at the website and even see if it's appealing, and what like ideas, what you can do. You don't have to choose a niche that you are interested, that's like kind of your passion, something that you really love. I don't have that with my two websites. However, it does help, of course, to do that and have more interest in what you do. Top 10 best rabbit outdoor cages 2020. Okay, this is a post. It's probably making money from affiliate marketing of selling outdoor cages through Amazon. It's a guess. Gift ideas for rabbit lovers. Okay, these are what people write about, and they probably have content writers that try these things. Our recommendations. See their recommendation of a product, recommending on a product. This is the ad network called Mediavine, but there are others. This is one. That's a good ad network. And this is buy from Amazon. That will take us to Amazon to buy that. And on that specific example, so okay, here's something that's a very good example. So we got to a page where it says, sorry, we couldn't find that page. So at this point, if you discover these kind of things, you say, I can change that product. I'll get a link to a product. This means that this is an unmonetized link, which you can then divert to something else. So this is an example of something that you can increase the revenue right there. So you got to find all these things or different ideas of what you can do. And of course, that needs to worth your time and your investment.
So how much did they want for that website?
So usually with Flippa, it's auctions, but so the current price is 30 and the reserve is 30,000. There are 3 days left for bidding. I don't know I don't remember if you're going to, if you're actually going to pay 30, if that's like the final price or not. Oh yeah, you need to reach the reserve price. So the minimum would be 30,000. Now it reached 20. But the sale started from 6,000, 26 days ago. And now it's on 20. And it makes, what's the multiplier? And it makes, how much was it?
It makes $700 a month, I think, yeah.
Okay, what's the multiplier then? Multiplier. So it's 20, 7,000. 28. It's a little low, so that's good. However, you need to check other things on the website. It will likely go further. So if let's say that they go for what they actually asking for, the 30,000 divided by 700, that's rather high. That's multiple of 42. Okay, but it's somewhere in that rate, in that range. And on here, I think that people who they don't have to sell if it doesn't get to the reserve price. While in some other marketplaces, you're committing and actually buying. I bought one website through Empire Flippers and the other ones through a private Facebook group. So I'm less familiar with the process of how buying through Flippa, though I did try a few times, just never happened.
Interesting. Okay, so you get this. Now, what if you do want to then resell it? You would just go, if you go like, say you say, okay, I've spent a year, I've got this thing to add, now it's worth 40%, or 40% more than it was. So I want to go ahead and resell it. Well, actually, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we get to that piece of it?
I think we did the gist of it of what exactly that is. I just want to again say that this is more work, especially at the beginning and when you have the learning curve, and also risky. So don't put your last dollar in it. It's really important to say that. I know other people who have teams with dealing with the operating the websites, and that's fine if you're going to that direction. Just know that this can happen, and question for you if you want to do that or not.
And teams need to get paid. So if you're going to have somebody right off the bat, if the thing is going to cost you money as well as, you buy it, and then it's still going to cost you money to have like a VA or somebody else to manage it and write articles about bunnies, then that's going to be another factor, right?
So there are actually other ways to deal with these things. So one thing is that there are already companies who operate websites for you. So you pay them monthly to do those kind of things. And another thing is that there are now deals of combining an investor and an operator, just like I'm operating my websites of whatever, either sharing the equity of that website or some kind of a different cash flow split on whatever net is every month. However, it's somebody who wants to invest money and doesn't have the knowledge, and then they operate. They get an operator, they get some kind of a deal, and they run either one website or a portfolio of websites. That can also happen.
So you're partnering with somebody, you might be the money person, and they're the ones who have the knowledge about, you partner with your 12-year-old child because they know all about websites, and then
Maybe.
you just split the revenue.
Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, and regarding selling those, so you do that either through the groups that I mentioned or through the marketplaces. They take between 5 and 15%, depends on the size of the deal, for selling, the brokers usually. Sometimes you pay, I don't know exactly how much, but probably a few hundreds, or for listing your website. I think on Flippa it's $49, I think. But that's the way you sell it. And if you're going to this business, you're probably going to go into the relevant Facebook groups, and you get to know people, and then you'll make your decisions of how you want to sell, where you want to buy, whatever. It's open. It's really open.
So is it like a community, like you say in the Facebook group, you get to know people? Do you you see the same people again and again?
Yes, there are a few key people. There are people talking about these kind of things and educate people. I follow them. I learn from them. One that I actually want to recommend two people. One is wait, I'm going to say his name right. So the website is called the website Flip by Mushfik, and I'm on his premium program. I don't remember his last name. Sorry, Mushfik, if you're going to watch this. Apologize, I'm kind of pulling the name out. And the other is, again, that's going to be embarrassing. Oh, it's Niche Pursuits. That's Niche Pursuits. Let's pull out the name by Spencer, and I don't remember the last name again. While we speak. Niche Pursuits. His name is Spencer House, Haws. So two good people to follow and learn from. I have a workshop on my website. I'm talking about it more from the angle of diversifying investments, and kind of teaching the basics. But these two people, especially Mushfik, is kind of, you go advance and you learn more from there.
Fun. This is exciting because I never really thought about that. I know that when I look for a domain name that's already taken, it says you can buy this domain name for $8,000 sometimes, but but I never thought about buying websites that were already in operation that people would. I mean, it's your business, right? Makes sense. Just didn't think
for some
about it.
people, it's their business. I see this as part of my investments. I admit that I work more on that, but at the year and a half that I'm in this industry, I've learned so much, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy hacking this and learning about this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And you improve with things, just like your first real estate deal would be a disaster. Fortunately, my first website deal is really not a disaster. It could have been, I don't know. So yeah, go there. It's another investment opportunity. Why not?
So Shlomo, let me ask you, what type of person do you think is the right personality type to do this sort of investment?
Wow, that's a very good question. So I want to tell you about how empire flippers are categorizing the people who buy website for them, because they have personas for those. And it's really interesting. They have all these, one is Flipper Fred. So it's the person who would flip the websites. The other is, but there's kind of the person who would hold a portfolio, or the one who would flip, the one who is kind of the beginner and all that. But all in all, you have to do the work. It's not the passive. So, but it's like, I'm going to ask you, who is going to run after a real estate deal? Is that like, quote unquote, the entrepreneurs? Not necessarily, although that what you would think about websites, like, because you have to work on this. But I'm not sure that's the best answer.
Certainly, you could be very easily, you'd have to be very lucky to succeed if you didn't have the type of personality where you're willing to do the analytics and the work and dig into it. But I think also there has to be a little bit of creativity, right, in order to think of ideas and ways to improve the website and to, I don't know, I mean, I guess you can outsource all this stuff, but.
You can outsource. I mean, you can be just the investor and then have your operator do that for you. You know that you're taking a risk either with the website that the operator chose, or the portfolio, or the operator itself. Maybe it's not good. That can happen too. So you can do that. I guess it's people who would be willing to take more risks than others. And also in this industry, it's just starting now that you can get leverage, so you can get credit for buying websites. Flippa offers it to US citizens somehow. I'm not a US citizen, so I can look more into this. However, it is possible. So you can leverage, but it's still not the same as real estate. A lot of funds are going into the world of website investing because there's a lot of money in there. You see the multiples, and it's growing. They started with buying FBAs, which is the equivalent Amazon FBAs, which is kind of the websites that sell real things through Amazon. FBA is the initials for fulfillment by Amazon. So usually you operate the websites, you order things from China, then you ship them to Amazon, and then they fulfill the orders. So they went into these kind of things, and now you see the next stage of their going more into content and stuff like that. So multipliers have gone up in the last year or so. It's probably going to keep going up. That's what you see in the industry right now.
So you've said a couple times that this is a risky investment. With the same amount of research, do you think it's more risky to buy stocks or to buy a website if you were willing to spend the same amount of time researching?
I think websites are more risky than stocks. However, you have more controls. You can mitigate that more than, I don't know if, not a portfolio of stocks, maybe kind of a single stock. I feel like you can do more. You can just have a portfolio of websites. So you're mitigating it the same way. But all in all, it is still riskier than other things. But I don't know a lot of stocks that give you cash flow 30% a year.
I mean, it would be,
I would see this as part of
making
a portfolio, an investment portfolio, not only stocks or only this. It's like it's part of what you have.
I don't know, with the same amount of investment, that's the other piece of it. You know, with the same amount of investment, say I invested $50,000 into a website, or invested $50,000 into one type of stock, right? Because that's more equivalent. Then am I going to make the same, you know, is it going to be worth 40% more in a year? Well, that of course all depends on a million things, but it's going
Yeah.
but it depends with stock. It depends on what the company's doing. It has nothing to do with what I'm going to do, right? I can't.
So if you're comparing this to a single stock, then website investing is less risky. If you're comparing this to investing in an ETF or the S&P 500, website investing is more risky. That's a better way to say it.
That's good. I like that. That's very interesting. I want to learn about this. I want to do some more research into this because this is something that's kind of fun and novel, different, interesting. And as you say, like things obviously now it's just a little bit becoming more popular, but once they hit a tipping point and everybody starts thinking, oh, this is the next great way to make money, then the values of these websites are going to go way up, right? Potentially.
Probably, but you're never going to know. I don't think it will ever get to the real estate where you get 3% a year. It's not going to be worth it.
Well, I mean, that's why I like real estate better than stock, because worst case, you can move in, right? Or you can take that house and turn it into a store or whatever. You know, there's always something you can do. You can rent space in the yard to park cars, you know, but
try to live on your rabbit's website.
Exactly. A little hard to live on your rabbit's website, but it's also hard to live on your stock, you know, in your stock. So, I mean, what the heck is the name of the company now? I can't even think of it, but huge communications company. And I bought stock and it was going down. I said, oh, great deal. I'm going to buy some more. And the next thing you know, it's worth like 16 cents. You're like, how the hell is this company? There's a huge huge communications company. How is your stock worth 16 cents? Like people are still buying GE, which I don't think is necessarily a great investment because they have dividends, and people are still buying, they were buying Blockbuster, you know, long after that was a good idea. So the problem is when those kind of companies are making a terrible decision, there's just nothing you can do about it except watch your money go down the tube. So in that respect, obviously websites have an advantage because you at least can take some action. So I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I would say there are really a lot of ways to mitigate this. And also you can fix, I mean, if you're hit by Google, if that company is hit, you can't do anything. If I'm hit by Google, I can wait for at some point there'll be an update and you can redo your websites and fix things and find what's bad in that. And probably in many cases, the fix will work. Maybe not to the same level, maybe better, You hear stories that sometimes the people done everything they could and it still didn't work. But most of the time, probably something will happen, probably for the better. Can't promise, of course. But I'm saying you can do a lot of things to improve that. So you are active to deal with that.
So what else, what should I have asked you, Shlomo, that I didn't ask you? I mean, there's so much I don't know about this topic that I'm sure that I missed some good stuff.
We didn't talk about content, how you create content. We didn't talk about how you create links, how you assess if a website is strong or not strong. I just gave you the basics. This is probably not the way to cover all this. It's kind of need to be a whole workshop just to teach all that. But these are things that you can, listeners hearing now can follow and start research about those things, either through Googling this or through the resources that I gave, or ask me, whatever. I am by I'm by no means an expert for this. There are people that are more expert than me, but I know some about that. I'm doing this for a while now. So you can also ask me questions. That's fine too. I can't hear you.
I'm in the flight path today. I don't know how much the microphone picks up, but there are like jets going overhead. It's quite loud.
No, I don't hear anything.
Oh, good,
I
good.
feel like they're ordering behind me is very loud.
So, okay, well, maybe we should design a workshop where we talk people through like buying your first website or something. That would be fun.
I can do that.
Create an online workshop
We
to
can
add to my
talk about
suite
that.
of
Actually,
offers.
already have a workshop. It's recorded. Shameless plug. It's something I sell. So if that's relevant, we can talk about it.
All right, good. Yeah, well, we'll give me a link and we'll put that onto the link onto the show notes and everything. Awesome. All right, anything else you want to chat about before we say goodbye for the day?
Are we doing another recording about another asset?
Yeah, we can. We'll have you once a month. You can be the expert, the non-traditional investment expert, or the monthly.
How many people you have ongoing here? I mean, I guess it's not the same 5 people going every month. It's not a cycle, right?
Right. Well, we're not gonna, in this case, I don't know that we're gonna necessarily like put the same intro, you know what I mean? Maybe we'll do yours a little bit differently, so we won't have, keep talking about your background, where you are now. We might just have, maybe I'll just batch this. I mean, this is long enough to be its whole episode on its own anyway, so.
Yes, I think we'll do a workshop ourselves. We'll talk about it.
Awesome. All right. Well, cool. So thank you so much for educating at least me, and I think a lot of other people, about something that we didn't know anything about. That's sounds like it's an up and coming trend and a cool place to do something different. Diversify your investments a little bit. And I think I'm going to stop the recording and I'm going to do the outro separately.